Hello, hey, hi everybody, social media family. Being of whatsoever races, but then not necessarily being of whatever walks of life, factions of society, or lifestyle preferences. And being of the old and young alike of both two sexual genders, representing the global community, uh, males and females of our human species for this post 911 era of our new millennium of apocalyptic day and age, and where the doomsday clock is now at a few minutes to midnight, compared on to our formerly previously or prior to then was a quarter midnight for these rather biblically prophetic times. How are you all doing? Well, hopefully everyone is doing at least okay, if not better yet, to be said to be feeling all right. Or if not best of all, to be said to be feeling blessed and stressed, more blessed and stressed, too blessed to possibly calm or be stressed. You and yours, your family, friends, and hopefully me and mine likewise as well, are all the same. Well, whatever I have said. Yeah, speaking correct, proper standard English grammar of the American dialect of some or such qualities and quantities or not. Or be I speaking King's English or street slang for that matter. The bottom line is that I wish everyone to be doing at least okay. But then, nevertheless, regardless of whatever I can speak upon, be it one subject matter or another of the issue at hand, pardon the pun, none was intended, and no offense or disrespect is meant to be possibly directed against any persons, past, present, and future sexual assault victims or rape victims for the last mentioned, and especially if they be women and children, even so of the men, although men do not report their attacks of hate crimes of an intimate, sensual, sexual nature as much as maybe women and children may think to do or could possibly do just that. Call it a man thing, call it what you want. I guess it has something to do with, if a man is overpowered by another man to be played like, excuse me, pardon my French, and as I think of it, with that in my mind's intention to try to backtrack here with the reason I purpose is being, and also I can go on with the following, to continue from where and when that my person at last left off so that I can finish up as a complete a former period prior lines on the same since a word, or as I think to do so now. See, men don't want to be thought of or assumed to be somebody else's bitch or hoe, being of another males, and as they get to thinking how, the majority of most men, they're going to look at it in a different way, regardless of whether or not, your argument could be legit as another male of the same sex. Yes, they say what I meant to say. Prince P continue to regulate my mind, put out Prince of Doctrines to conclude my speech days. Regulate if and when as well as some such other attempts to confuse it. Yeah, I'm saying, stated for record. Whereas the majority of most men, they look at, or the majority of most males look at it like, from a different point of view or a different argument, being other males of the same sex, is what I meant to say. But you could have a legit argument and be like saying more was less. Well, I was overpowered by, the odd numbers against me, There was more than one, or the other guy, a fellow dude, was like standing ever so tall and weighed in ever so much, practically and possibly, twice or three times my own human body weight of physical nature, blah, 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 blah. Then most men, that's because they're brain dead or brainless or whatsoever races, whatever walks of life, fashion, society, lifestyle preferences, be they heterosexuals, bisexuals, or homosexuals, they look at, if you've been pumped out, man, they don't want to hear all that, Well, more like heterosexual and bisexual, they don't want to hear all that. They figure that, no, there's something else to this story, regardless of whether or not there is, Like I said, call it a man thing, call it what you will, That if you go spilling the beans and be making it public, that's why we keep it to ourselves, Not that I ever been, well, at least not by any means of conscious knowledge. I mean, an MF for effing piece of shithead of a life would have to really do something to have me be rendered unconscious before one would attempt to try something like that with me in my conscious state of mind, be I were to be sober or not. And because I roll with the best of them, you know. Okay? I really like ready to F something up, you know. But then I think that was what I had meant to speak upon, but then that's one subject matter of issue at hand or topic of discussion to be debated that I could speak upon or give an argument, be it a controversy or not, and be it a plague upon any given society for a country or nation within the global community that it represents or not, you know, with all the, you know, many different views and opinions to be associated with a given argument as that of a topic of discussion to be debated, of conversation, of dialogue. Let's be able to speak upon that, or be able to speak upon some or such other, or a couple, few, or four more for that matter. But then don't kill the messenger. I'm just here to deliver, and hopefully with that much less usages of excuses of profanity, much rather than instead of with that much more cuss words to simply say. And therefore, hopefully, likewise, with that much less of a chance to be mild and off. As the lesser two evils being a prodigal son, where the worst two evils are the likes, you know, to be compared onto a believer that has gone astray, you know, that had strayed from the 99, being of that one lost sheep, whereas the worst two evils are the likes of those wolves in sheep's clothing, snakes in the grass, supposed so-called holier-than-thous, false brethren, modern day religious Pharisees and sadducees, being of the same of wolves in clothing, snakes in the grass, you know, religious church hypocrites, religious charlatans, religious chameleons, religious shysters, religious church hypocrites, religious Pharisees, and our Sadducees, religious con artists, then as they are the worst or the worstest, or unbelievers and nonbelievers, being the deceivers, who pretend to have become or pretend to be believers in God as in Christians, a.k.a. Protestants, and therefore the likes of them, being of those false prophets and our antichrist, will be considered as being of the worst or the worstest, or quasi devil worshippers, being of whom make up the majority of church-goers or whatsoever religious denominations, from the pools to the pulpits of members and visitors alike, and likewise of whatsoever races and whatever walks of life, fashion, or society, lifestyle preferences. But then get back to me, myself, and so I say. But anyway, though, now that I've gotten pretty much all of the preliminaries, a basic introduction out the way, at least I think I have, and God, whatever I can speak upon, hopefully with that much less of a chance and with that much more of a chance to be out like practically and possibly like a drunken sailor upon shorely. But then you notice the title to this one social media broadcast of mine for this one in particular, you know. And then other than that, I missed the 5 o'clock news. I was trying to get back here much earlier, and I missed 5:30 news. So my the latest I watch it is at 9 or 10, or earliest would be at 7 or 6 for other hours, you know. Like say for the evening hours would be some such that I mentioned earlier, and for the morning hours, the afternoon hours would be like some such that I think I mentioned last, you know, for the time frame periods. You know. The latest at 9 or 10 in the evening, the earliest at 7 or 6 in the morning. You know. Okay. I don't think it would go outside that is any later than that time frame period that I mentioned earlier. That time frame that I mentioned. Very seldom, if at all. But anyway, though, yeah. But then I was kind of like having a lurking notion to go back to drinking and use it. Drinking intoxicating alcoholic beverages and smoking my drug of choice, being reefer, peyote, the wacko weed. Peyote, wacko weed, or whatever. However I would have put it. Then I had to get back here and you know, just count my blessings. Then one by one, count the many blessings. See what God has done. And lately I've been cussing and swearing like a drunken sailor, more or less. I say, do I have since got back upon the bandwagon of recovery? Since the last time I relapsed for whatever reason, that had caused me to do just that, or whatever I had become subject to experiencing. Bit of a neighbor from hell, proverbial neighbor from hell, public a problem neighbor, dickhead, prick, character, or rather faggoty or quasi faggot, possibly worse yet, of a lousy S.O.B. bastard, or be it a something such other. But anyway, though, I'm back on the bandwagon recovering now, compared to how previously, prior to or formerly, that my person haven't had at least a couple few years, or for a time frame period of from 1 to 2 to 3 years, calendar years up on my belt of sobriety. And I only have somebody for a time frame period of from a week to a couple few weeks. Close a month now. Well, you know how that is. I mean, stuff happens, and when the crap hit the fan. But thank God I'm on the bandwagon recovery. But anyway, though I was saying and continuing the line of thought, I would have got back here earlier and would have been able to watch the news broadcast at some sort of time frame period as well as, broadcast as I'm doing now. But I was momentarily, restrained from getting back this way to do just that, to take care of this or being detained as I was, or my program or plans haven't been interrupted because I still have more than quite a few dickhead prick stalkers, that will remind me of some damn neighbors from hell, faggots, moonlighting stalkers, and then crank calls in their own right. There's one buckwheat looking motherfucker. MF, a fucking idiot, piece of shit here, effing idiot, piece of crap, being a supposed so-called homie of mine, being of whom in times past I invited him over to one of my cribs and had him spend the night and even fix that lousy, rotten, ungrateful, thankless bastard or S.O.B. a meal, only for him to diss me. I think I have informed you all or told you personally about this here during a much earlier broadcast of social media here as we have for this particular app that I myself, and I'm likewise an account holder of for my own personal chat. But then I'm not accepting any internet trolls. In the next year, if any internet trolls could possibly pop up at any given moment in time within any of my social media broadcasts, this one for you. Let it be. Have yourself or how to go. If you got the time, then here's to you. Yeah, so I invited that cocksucker over to my crib, one of my past cribs, on for him to diss me. And now, years later, still acting like he on stalking his damn tips. I mean, especially in them damn times I could possibly have some money or be about to get some money. So, he'd be showing up at some of the most inconvenient times at that. Especially with one of my OGs having a life crisis at the moment, one of the maternal heads of a matriarch for my own immediate personal family household, where I'm trying to take care of the necessary business at hand to get her back to her pad, so that she won't be stored away elsewhere against her will and be just another possible and potential candidate to be experimented on like a lab monkey, for the different facilities, be it public or private, be it run by the government or the private business sector, like homeless persons being kidnapped off the street by agents of the government and then be taken to underground, laboratories to be experimented on by mad scientists, to be treated like human guinea pig projects and so forth, And so I have had a lot on my plate lately, and it's been kind of like stressing me out. Well, hopefully not all together, I only recently got back into trying to catch up on my Bible reading, as I am a believer in God. Though I've been cussing and swearing like a drunken sailor, and been having a lurking notion to go back to drinking and smoking, Yeah. Then that was only after I paid a visit to a medical facilities, premises properties for a place of business. Then because Most recently, I had partially gotten stung by a hornet or a bee in my ear, and they had to look it over, examine it, make sure that I was all right, and I was informed that everything was okay. If I had told them something else, if they had bothered asking me so much question like they usually do now, during these times, as we have it, with the corona faggot virus, or a.k.a. the COVID-19 homo pandemic. No, it's not the corona Asian virus. President DC, full for all races, people's persons, or whatever walks of life, factions of society, lifestyle preferences. Mr. Pussy Groper, Mr. Moneybags, President of the USA. Well, at least he didn't snatch any panties like a former or previous or ex-president of the United States of America, being Mr. Big Bobcat, or Mr. Big Bobcat, Mr. Bill Big Bobcat, penny snatching or pussy raping Clinton, with his wife of a senator, politician, of a former ex-presidential candidate herself, with all her bogus ass emails running into the hundreds of thousands of bogus ass emails that could possibly be complimenting Russian collusion. How the Russians that infiltrated our own U.S. political system, and some such given time is suspected that they are doing so now. Yeah. But anyway, getting back to some of such other, and before I lose my train of thought, from having a speech impediment, speech effect episode of slash long to possibly having a, memory lapse like Ronald Wilson Reagan. So, yeah. But anyway, though, so I'm trying to take care of all the necessary business at hand. Trying to take care of this business, and at the same time, that is so far as what I mentioned earlier in reference to a maternal head for my own immediate personal family household, as well as look out for my own general health. But at a some such a given moment in time, where I had paid a bit to a local vicinity area, neighborhood, community, medical facilities, premises, or properties, regardless of whether it was public or private. And whereas I didn't tell them like I would usually do in this corona faggot virus times, then it comes from there, they'll put you with other patients that they are, examining to try to verify and confirm how serious their suspected condition of possibly having contracted the corona faggot virus. I'm not trying to go into a hospital, for one thing, and then come out with four or more, with a couple, few or four more other physical, medical health issues, and then likewise possibly mental ones at that. So this time, I told him, no, I'm not experiencing any symptoms of the likes that would, complement suspected contraction of the corona faggot virus or COVID-19 homo pandemic. And so from there, it just positioned me in another area, away from the patients who are suspected of having contracted the corona faggot virus or COVID-19 homo pandemic. And then I was like examining for my ear, and that was that. Praise the Lord, God damn it. I guess practically, if not possible, no. Lord, forgive me for using your name in vain. But anyway, though, after having taken care of that necessary business, then I was released, But coming next day, whereas I'm trying to see about this maternal head of a matriarch from my own immediate personal family household. Here it is. I'm encountering this one cocksucker of a supposed so-called homie that I mentioned back in the day, and he's like moonlighting as a stalker. Hopefully not possibly likewise as a prank caller, because I looked at my cell phone at one give him on time or nothing. And I'm saying that he hollered at me via some kind of means of social media, whereas I have had to block him. And I'm getting somewhere with this here. Just hold your horses. You know. Speaking upon that last go. So this MF, he causes me to you know, like, right, catch a flat tire with my bicycle or bike. Well, I'm like, motherfucker, you shithead ass piece of shit. Oh, let me rephrase. I'm not. Why you MF? You effing idiot, dickhead prick. Now I'm having to put my damn bicycle or bike in the bike shop. Once again, I just most recently got it out of the bike shop. Since last time it was in there. And I'm having to pay some more money to get the tire fixed, get another tire on the MF, you know? Put like that. See my name, Paul friend. So I'm pissed like a, and then only find out that it don't matter whichever mode of transport for a mass transit or public transportation system with all of this many different buses or train routes. Hell, it could have been a train for that matter as well as a bus. If I can remember. Anyway, though. So I'm calling this in how one or the other, be it has been a train conductor or a bus driver, passed me up. I'm pissed like a MF for real, especially like whereas I get to reflect upon how before then, you know, is one because I'm having to get my bike to the bike shop now. I haven't had to catch CTA's transportation to do just that. After this cocksucker, someone or such one who remind me of a neighbor from hell, faggot, a supposed so-called former homie, caused me to get a flat tire behind his ass stalking me because I'm having to get off of the mode of transport I was on, regardless of whether it was a bus or a train route, whereas he popping up out of nowhere like he's stalking me and so forth. So I'm like, why you dickhead prick? And then I caught a flat after that, you know. And so I'm having a lurking notion from there to go back to drinking and drugging, but I'm having to postpone that. I'm like saying, I just recently got back on the bandwagon recovery. I can't let this cocksucker cause me to go back to it, especially with this one maternal head of immediate, this maternal head of a matriarch for my own personal immediate family household is needing me right now, you know, to help her out, take care of that shit in his hand, to get her back to her place of residence where she could resume, you know, her duties of paying annual, monthly rent, utilities, and home phone service fees, then to be carted away and sent somewhere where she don't want to be, like I was saying much earlier, to be compared on to, you know, the homeless statistics that are being kidnapped by agents of the government to be experimented on by mad scientists on after they are transported elsewhere to these underground laboratories up on the, you know, Walmart business stores or whatever other stores for that matter. So this is where I'm at in my life, y'all. I'm feeling pissed like I don't know what, you know. Another day is coming on, another week. I haven't gotten any pussy. You know, whereas it could possibly be said that, you know, in more words of that, probably is not popular altogether. Man, I practically not possibly haven't had pussy since pussy had me. You know, not that I'm so much looking forward to bed hopping compared to time and not otherwise, if you know what I mean, you know. See how I'm still quite a romantic fella, a guy, though at times I could betray my romantic feelings, you know. And a lot of bitches and hoes, they like been lately like acting like they're attempting to avoid me like the plague or something, you know. Okay. But then getting back to some of such other. So I'm taking my bike to the bike shop. And once again, some cocksucker otherwise, then we remember this so-called homie. You know, he pops out of nowhere as I'm trying to pay money to the bike shop owner to get my bike fixed, you know. And lately that's been happening. You gotta go to a bike shop or to a store or a fast food place or you know, the bank, you know, and mainly or mostly other nigger motherfuckers. Is that what I'm saying? No, I'm not a nigger motherfucker. I don't fuck my mom, you know. I'm not a nigger son of a bitch because I'm not the offspring or sibling of a bitch or hoe. I consider my mom a queen. you know, like my grandma who had recently passed from the COVID faggot virus that she had caught or contracted from a nursing home, whereas these motherfuckers in there, these MFers had lied and said that she didn't contract it there. Whereas upon she herself being transported to a medical facility's premises properties of a local vicinity neighborhood community hospital, whereas the doctors and nurses there said, oh, she did contract it at a nursing home because she sure as damn hell didn't contract it here, you know. And so that's a lawsuit impending. I had yet to get in touch with some attorneys or lawyers. It's been a few months since she had passed away, you know, give or take weeks or days. And I don't want to wait any longer. I'm going to have to get on this soon enough. Otherwise, the evidence will be like becoming stale or become cold, and you want to get that taken care of as soon as possible. Get reimbursed for that of a tragedy that has happened with a family member. But where was I at now? Anyway, though, so lately it's been like mainly or most of the other males of the same sex, and that much more as we go double triple, we say, as well as we go out saying when it comes to other black brothers stalking and popping up out of nowhere. I wish they would pop their asses up on a bullet going through their heads, you know, and their backs, you know. I don't know, you get the F down away from me. Get your bitch ass on the bitch ass on. Faggot or closet faggot, bitch ass on, bitch ass on. At least act like you stalking me, like you on some stick and move, snatch and run, tip, you know, like some kind of pickpocket or a purse snatcher. You know, push on, man. Take a hike. I don't give a damn if you black or white, especially if you showing up within the first minute I show up at a damn banking establishment, be it of a bank or savings and loans or currency exchange. Get the fuck out of here. I don't know you. Get the fuck out my face. Get the fuck from beside me. Especially get the fuck from behind me. That's how they be coming at you, man. The most suspicious kind of way, the most creepiest kind of way, and come behind you. You know, to compare on the sexual predators, attempting to approach their victims in the most effective way, you know, which is to come behind them. I'm like, man, push on, man. Do I know you? Man, is that shit you want to bum rush the damn door to the place of business establishment? Very minute I show up. Like some MF, I'm catching a mass transit, public transportation system. He want to talk F and BS within close vicinity to me. He's going to be kicking it with what was it? Either a bus driver, a train conductor. I don't know. But anyway, though, depending on what kind of route be the bus or train. I'm talking about, yeah, okay, you have a nice day. She can employ it, but then be watchful of these demons in human flesh on your premises property. I'm like, I know damn well he ain't talking about me. Say, look in the damn mirror at yourself. Remind me of the one of the damn JIVE-ASS, jack-leg nigger preacher-man, like the WILLY-LYNCH-LETTER fulfilling nigger cocksucker or preacher-man presiding over a nigger church in a nigger neighborhood that cussed me out over mere cell phone. And then add insult to injury, this cocksucker is going to, like, attempt to, you know, unnerve me that much more, where it's bad enough he already had, as he had ran from the pulpit. Because within that same minute, I'm on the phone, I'm trying to tell him no, but I can get back with him because I'm in church. This cocksucker, when I look up, he's right there, standing up right beside me on the side of the pool while I'm sitting down, cussing and swearing like a drunken sailor on shore leave. I'm thinking to myself, as long as this MF don't spit on me and so forth. Then add insult to injury, he want to follow me toward the door of the church, you know, as I'm leaving to try to diffuse the situation. And he just a mere few inches behind me, you know. Like I said, in a way where it's to be compared on how sexual predators will come at their victims in the most effective way, you know, which is to come behind them, you know, not in front of them, not on the side of them, but behind them. And I'm like, he just actually just a couple of few inches in back of me, where I'm having to turn my head to the side to make sure he don't attempt to sucker punch me, because we would have been fighting in that church if he had attempted to swing on me, still on me like so. I'm like, yeah, come on, what you got? Ducking out of the way. So what you got? What you got? You want some of this? Come on. Bring it on. Bring it on, you nigga motherfucker. You nigga piece of shit. jive-ass nigga shithead, jive-ass nigga jack-leg preacher cocksucker, jive-ass nigga faggot, faggot jive turkey preacher man. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, though, so this other cocksucker was supposed so-called homie, you know, one of those jive-ass homies compared to much more sincere homies. So I see this cocksucker today popping up out of nowhere, as if I'm supposed to forget anytime too soon how he disrespected me, myself here, not just back in the past, but most recently, when for some time, not very recent, but not that long ago, where sometimes I'm supposed to be holding conversations with him, trying to let bygones be bygones, trying to prove myself to be more the man, the much more mature one. He want to diss me and talk trash. So I'm like, okay, it's like that. Well then, well, remind me not to speak to your lousy, rotten, ungrateful, low-life scumbag, riff-raff, piece of shit, shithead ass, nigger ass anytime too soon. Enough again. Excuse my language. I must remember to only employ the uses of or to use those alternative cuss words of profanity than those. I mean, I must remember not to use those alternative experience of profanity much rather than the much more familiar cuss words that I mentioned in God's word. BIBLE, the basic instruction before leaving earth regarding making reference to salvation and deliverance in Christ, our Lord and Savior, inside deliverance. Then I know some of y'all be like saying, man, you sound rather hypocritical. Yeah, because I'm a prodigal son being a less for you. You know, but then I'm not the worst of two evils. You know, comprising this and then going to post it. And then hopefully next time I get on here, though, you know, hopefully I will sound much more kosher, you know, or whatever I'm saying. But anyway, though, I'm going to wrap this up shortly. And then I'm going to get the damn hell out of there, try to make it to this one free eating spot and call it a night. Yeah. But I think that, and I've encountered quite a few damn ignorant ass, willing-left-fulfilling niggers, not just a nigger bastards, a nigger S.O.B, but nigger bitches or hoes at that. You know, acting all niggerly, brain dead, brainless, stuck on stupid, willing-left-fulfilling niggers that make the rest of us blacks look bad, pretend to start some nigger shit, you know. Like a nigger bus driver, a nigger train conductor, knowing that you already there trying to catch a bus or train and want to pass you up. You know? Yeah, I had to call some of that nature in most recently. I'm cussing and swearing like a drunken sailor. I'm like, I don't feel like talking nice, you know. I'm getting sick and tired of other people or other persons assuming me that a person by myself to be their floor mat, especially what I'm going through, trying to look out for an elderly female relative of a person. Then there's one woman that's one of the matriarchs, maternal heads for my own immediate personal family household members, and then relative of us. You know, it seems like more than quite a few just fucking around, just effing around. You know, not really taking care of necessary being in hand to try to work with us to see about her general welfare or better interest. Like they just stalling for time to take advantage of her and so forth. Where she's, you know, where she's like positioned as a president one time. And I said, ain't this about it? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, y'all, just as I would go about, you know, giving you all the general intro, and then from there I will go about speaking upon some such matters, whatever that may be, of the subject at hand, and giving an issue or argument. If I were to speak upon a couple, 3 or 4 more for that matter, then I would get a closing, as in concluding matter, last note of interest. You know, even if I had to force myself to say it, it don't come naturally to me, and that is by saying, yeah, some of you haven't as yet gotten Christ as your own personal Lord and Savior. I would hope that you would think to do so now, while the blood is still running warm in your veins, by recognizing and realizing what He Himself had done or did upon the cross of Calvary on the hill of Golgotha, suffering at the hands of some such Roman soldiers up on the orders of their religious peers, being a Pharisees and Sadducees, but then nevertheless was He himself had given his life upon the cross of Calvary, becoming that perfect sacrifice, the only sacrifice for you as well as for me. So that if any of us being on whatsoever race and whatever walks of life, faction of society, lifestyle preferences, being of the old and young alike of both two sexual genders, representing the global community, which in this post-911 era of a new millennium of the apocalyptic day and age, where the doomsday clock is now at a couple few minutes of midnight, compared on how formerly previous prior to then it was a quarter of midnight, for these by the biblically prophetic time, word of profess some such faith in him. From there we will become or be blessed in one regard or another, more ways more. First and foremost, with his salvation, which is the only means by which any of us can or could possibly escape the lake of fire down hell or enter into the kingdom of heaven. And the second of all, with his deliverance, where we will be blessed while we're still here in the land of living upon the planet Earth or in this world. But first, you have got to get his salvation before you can or could possibly become or be blessed in any regard. Otherwise, you have nothing coming so far as blessings is concerned. And if you should go out of this world without that blood sacrifice of our Lord and Savior Christ, the Messiah, deliver upon and within your soul, then that being your next destination would be the lake of fire down hell, to be assembled with the rest of the unsaved, unbelievers, and non-believers, then of whom rejected so great a salvation, to be tortured and terrorized by the devil and his demons for all eternity, compared to how we, being of whom are believers in God, as a Christian, a.k.a. Protestants, would be across the great divide that separates heaven from hell in the company of other like-minded believers in God as a saints of the fellowship of Christians, a.k.a. Protestants, in the company of God and his angels forever and forevermore. And of course, you got to pay the cost to be the boss, baby. You get the boss man prize. If you sleep that one throughout your life and then wind up elsewhere, then there's nobody else to blame but yourself. I mean, just like nobody would put a gun to your head and say, accept Christ as your personal Lord and Savior. Nobody put a gun to your head either to say, to have you say, you'll get back with it later, or to have you not respect what he has to offer, to have you reject so great a salvation. You understand what I'm saying? So you can't blame it on anybody else, anybody or anything else but yourself, because through the course of your life, anybody in the world, they're going to have more than quite a few opportunities or chances to simply say, to be offered Christ's salvation. But if you keep passing up, if you keep rejecting it, then you're the one that's mainly or mostly at fault. You hear what I'm saying? Word. I'm just telling like it is, being the fact of the matter. Okay, you all take care and be safe, be blessed, not stressed if and when you can or could possibly come or that status if you're not already. And I'll holler at you later. We out. Peace.